Hi everyone, welcome to Objective Writing 101. This is Lab A, lecture number 2. In this lab, you're going to learn how to write psychomotor objectives. You did chapter 10 reading and you learned a little bit about objective writing. I'm going to cover some of the highlights of it. So first, what is an objective? An objective is a plan or a goal for the lesson, the unit, or the year. Right now, we're focusing on lesson. So without plans, how do we know what to teach? So we write these objectives to help us plan what we're going to teach and how we're going to teach the lesson. When you're writing an objective, it must be observable, something that you can see a student do, whether it's throw a ball, shoot a basketball, write down a list of rules, show leadership by doing something. So it's got to be observable. It must be measurable. So can I measure what this person is doing? They ran a mile in less than 10 minutes. That's measurable. And it should be achievable. We don't have to worry as much about achievable because we're not working with a specific group of students. But when you're teaching in the future, are you writing an objective that your students are actually going to be able to meet? Your objective has to have 3 parts. It must have a situation, a task, and a criteria. This may look a little bit different than what you read about in the Rink book in chapter 10. I'm going to explain the terminology from Rink and what we use here at Cortland. You're going to hear situation here at Cortland. This was referred to as the condition by Rink in chapter 10. So you've already had some objective writing practice. The condition is the same thing as the situation. So what are the conditions or the context in which the task will be exhibited or performed by the end of the lesson, during task number 2, during doubles gameplay? Those are all examples of the situation, or, as Rink would say, the condition. Next is the task, and this is referred to as the behavior by Rink in chapter 10. So this is the actual skill or the behavior that the student is going to be demonstrating. You're going to hear task from here on out. So we had situation, or the condition, task, or the behavior. And now we're going to have the criteria. This is referred to as the criterion by Rink. So pretty similar. This one you don't have to switch it too much. And the criteria is the level of performance that's expected. It could be qualitative. So are they doing the skill correctly? Or it could be quantitative. How fast are they doing it? How accurately are they hitting a target? Things like that. You have this really great objective writing guide for you in your EDU 255 packet. This is in your C section, so you can find that there. And it explains the situation, or the condition, as Rink calls it, the task, or the behavior, and the criteria. This is the criterion, also known as the standards. What's the level of performance that's expected? Gives you all of these examples of what you can use for a situation, for different types of tasks. You can list cues, you can list rules, you can identify the court dimensions, you can describe how to do a forward roll in gymnastics. And then it also gives you what's some criteria that you can use. Speed. You can swim by the end of the lesson, the situation. Students will be able to swim 25 yards, which is the task, in less than a minute. And that's the criteria. It could be accuracy, percent correct. If you're giving a quiz, it might be the percent correct. When we're talking psychomotor, it's usually going to be speed, accuracy. It could be 3 out of 4 times. During task 3, students will be able to perform the forward roll correctly 3 out of 4 times. Okay? So use this as you're writing your objectives. You're going to now take a short quiz on objective writing. You already had some practice with objective writing, but now you're going to take a short quiz. And in that quiz, you're going to have to write 3 more objectives that I can give you some more feedback on objective writing. We're going to do a lot of practice with objective writing because you really need to know how to write the objectives as you're moving forward in this class and then in the future. So I'm going to make sure that you really know how to write objectives correctly. In this quiz, we're focusing on psychomotor because that's the objective that you're or the expectation that you're going to be sharing for your Lab A. So psychomotor is what we're focusing on, and we'll get back to the cognitive and the affective at a later time.